jail a mother because they, chose to break orders in these sorts of circumstances. They're not, it's always, everyone needs to consider what's best for the child, and that's what would happen. And so, in other words, the legal advice that I've said is that I've received is that really nothing's going to happen when we do go back to court. So for 10 years, 12 years now, I've been following a system and paying into a system to provide an outcome, which an outcome that I was very happy with, only to find out that it was all a total waste of time, completely, and bears no weight at all. So it's been a very costly and emotional and frustrating situation, and it affects everyone.
Yeah, Jesus, and that's obviously so common.
Oh, so many people you speak to, same scenarios, and it happens on both sides. It could be the woman in my situation. It's not gender specific, but I mean, fundamentally, what it is the system does not work. It's a fast. It's a total waste of time. If there was a situation where, and I can imagine, if there are couples disputing about assets, or there is the child's at risk for various reasons, well, yeah, I get it. You need to have some legal framework around it to support that. And God, I hope they give those people support and police those orders, but, I don't know. But when you're in a situation where really mum and dad are just normal people, all they're doing is, disputing time, it just doesn't make sense, does it?
No.
And I would think that, I'd love to see the statistics on this, but just how many people do get divorced that don't have any real issues with each other, stating that either one is bad. There's got to be a lot more people, a large part of the system that should be considered and treated in a different way. Won't you? Spend all that money and time, upset, disrupt your family.
Because it shouldn't just be based on, the mother and the father's dislike for each other. Or, that should be completely taken out of it. The child needs to be looked at, it feels like the parents...
Well, Alex, it's a really interesting thing. Through the court system, and I really like this, was that we should always consider the child first, and that's exactly what should happen. But when you get brought into this system, it's very much not about that. The lawyers are creating a pathway that, I'm sure they feel that perhaps is the right way. Though plenty would argue that perhaps it's not. I certainly, like I said before, there is a framework and there is a need in some circumstances, but I feel in these sort of basic scenarios, you shouldn't have to pay $200,000 to get significant time for your daughter or your son or your, whatever that may be. That just doesn't make sense to me.